I've been deep in this vibe coding thing, and I built another website and launched it. It's a tool that lets people who sell on platforms like Etsy resize and upscale their images for digital poster downloads. So this is a use case where somebody wants to sell digital art online as a printable, downloadable file. You're not actually buying a printed out item on Etsy. You're buying a file for, say, $5, and then it's in multiple different sizes, and then you can go print it locally in whatever size you need for decor in your home. I'm not going to go too deep into what vibe coding is. Most of you have at least heard of it at this point. I just want to say that from a product manager perspective, this has been an incredibly freeing tool to use. I am used to spending a lot of time writing requirements, going back and forth with design on designs, going back and forth with engineering on the functionality of the website. Now, in my free time, I've been able to just collapse that whole experience. It's been really cool to just quickly iterate things and see my ideas come to life and be able to make changes. The idea for this project came from a conversation with my girlfriend, Amber. Just like me, she's always getting her hands into some new business idea, and she had decided she wanted to make posters for sale on Etsy, just the digital file, for people to go and print out. She was doing this, and I saw her over there. She works at the computer right over here. I saw her over there just like spending a lot of time in Photoshop, resizing her images. She was paying for an upscaler, and as a nerd, I'm always like, babe, I could do that for you. I could automate that. And so she finally called me on my bluff, and I had to build it. So my first iteration of it was just a simple Python script that resizes into all the sizes she needs for her, which was great. And then for the upscaler, I downloaded a model on my machine that could upscale for her, and I just exposed it to the network so that she could run it on her computer. And she was happy with that, but it was a two-step flow. You had to put your original image into the upscaler, let it upscale it, take the upscaled image, put it through the Python executable that I created for her, and then get all of your files. She was looking for more of a one-step process that upscaled and resized in one flow. And we reasoned, like, if she has this problem, other people probably have this problem. We did a little bit of quick research on TikTok, YouTube, and just looked at what are people commenting about, what are the challenges people are facing, and we saw a common thread where people were confused about what sizes they needed to put the posters in. To build the UI, I started with a website called magicpatterns.com. You can use any of the UI builders. You could use V0, you could use Bolt, you could use any of it. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I've done some tests, which I can make a video about, where I gave the same prompt to all of them, and they all spit out very similar websites. This was the first pass. Let me see what my prompt was. The prompt that I gave it was, I'm building a simple website that allows Etsy sellers to upload their low-res images. Then it will automatically upscale for them and output the resized files they need before posting their digital downloads on Etsy. Help me mock up a website for this. And you can see that in the first shot, a single prompt, it pretty much got the website. Like, this is pretty much what we have today. I removed Etsy from the name, and I changed a few other things, but this is pretty much it. So I took this and then synced it to my GitHub. Then I took that repo and cloned it to my local. I pulled it into Cursor, and first step is always just to get it running, but then I just start making changes. Just as a quick, fun demo for people who haven't used Cursor, it does help if you have some coding experience. You don't necessarily need to code. You'll probably learn some stuff along the way, but you pull your file into here, and then you can start just asking the chat to make changes. So for example, I could say add dark mode to the website. So this will start kicking off. It'll just understand the plan for the project. It'll show me the plan. I'm using Claude Sonnet 4. You can use any AI model you'd like. I've just had really good luck with this one in particular. But it'll go in there and just start making the changes. And then once it's ready, I can preview it on local. And then if I like it, I can push it to production. There's a bunch of different ways to go about this, but for this project, it was a relatively simple one. I just did this. This is live out there. I've got people who've signed up. Nobody's paid yet, but I do have about 35 signed up users at this point. Just to take you through what it does is you get on the site, and your call to action here is to upload an image. So we'll go ahead and upload something I created in Sora earlier. You can see it's processing. It'll create a 300 DPI image and upscale it and change it to all the sizes that you need. So here are all the print ready sizes, all the ratios that a seller would need on Etsy. And then you can just download the zip file and boom, you have all the files right here, and they are resized for you into the sizes that you need and clearly named. I did the pricing as a token-based system, so 1 token equals 1 image, upscale, and resize. For the payment system, I just used a API integration with Stripe. This did give me some trouble at first, but I was able to debug it and figure it out working with AI. My hot tip for you is to use MCP connections. If you don't know what that is, go look into it. But I have an MCP connection for both Stripe and for Supabase. Speaking of Supabase, that's how I'm handling all of the account information, like, you know, your login information and also how many tokens you have. So I had to come up with a system to track your token total, and when you buy tokens, add token balance for you. And then whenever you use an image generation, it actually takes the token away. But something that I didn't have at first that I, of course, had to figure out later was if you upload an invalid image, how to not subtract your tokens. That's up and working now, and I have all these like really loud errors. Anyway, for anyone who's watching who wants to use this tool, feel free to go for it. There's a free trial. I will say that this was built for one specific use case, like a vertical poster of a certain size and with certain outputs. So if you want different sizes, you need to just provide some feedback. There's a feedback tool here on the right side of the screen. You can tell me what you're looking for, and I read these personally. They go straight to my email. It's been super fun as a product manager to really get my hands dirty and build all these little projects as I think of them. I've got a couple more in the pipeline, so if you want to keep getting updates on this stuff, just like and follow along as we learn how to do this together.